Some of you have been asking about the sawmill shed, so we're gonna do a little walk around video of the sawmill shed and show you how the sawmill's set up inside of it and give you a little walk around of some of the logs we have and maybe a little walk around of the workshop shed that we have too. So yeah, this is a sawmill shed, the outside. This is obviously the front of it. This is a 20 by 20 shed. It's all made out of the red cedar. For this shed, we cut down all the logs for this shed off our property, and we pretty much took the logs. We cut them down, brought them back here with the tractor, put them straight on the sawmill, and cut the wood, and took the wood off the sawmill, put up on the shed. That's how this shed went. We had, well, when we first started this, I was 16. I bought my first, I bought a Norwood LM29 was the first sawmill that I had. And the way we had this sawmill shed set up was, when we had that mill, we had it running along this bottom edge of the shed down here. So the sawdust, we didn't have any of these boards on. From that board down was all open. So it worked good because the sawmill, or the dust from the sawmill, shot out that side of the wall, which worked really good. Which, as the wood miser, is not like that. The sawdust shoots out the same side as the same side you walk down. So, plus this sawmill is quite a bit longer than the Norwood was. I did have I think a 5-foot bed extension for the Norwood. I could cut, I think 17, right at 17 foot long on the Norwood, where this one I can cut 21 is the longest, or right at around 21 feet. So it did not fit in here at all the way we built this shed to work. So we took out this back wall on this side and the back wall on that side to kind of make it fit in there, which works really good for this because we can back the tractor straight in and put the logs on the loading arms, and loading arms puts it up on the sawmill, which works very nice. Which, as before, when we had the mill running down here lengthwise of the building, we had to back in the tractor and kind of angle the log in there and make it fit. Short logs work good, but long logs are a little pain in the butt to get on there. But anyways, this is the inside of the shed. These are the used saw blades. These are the hardwood blades, the thicker or the bigger stack, and then that's the softwood blades. Them are the used ones. Don't have any in here right now, all up in the garage. That's where we usually have the new blades hanging over here. But yeah, this is the inside. As you can see, it's very simple. This is the first shed me and my dad ever built, so we're not carpenters by any means, but it is seeming to work pretty good for what we needed to do. So this is all 1-inch siding on this shed, or we cut it at 1 inch, so it's probably 7/8 right now, or so, somewhere around there. We use 6x6 beams, as you can tell. Well, there's actually 8x8 beams. The two front posts are 8x8, I know for sure, and the one in the back in that corner over there is 8x8. The rest are 6x6. So kind of got a little bit of everything going on in this shed. Like I said, we just we used what we had. This hillside is not very flat at all, so we had to use a tractor and a box blade to level it out. So this upper side, or this side up here, is about 10 foot tall to the roof. The back side down there is a little over 12 foot. So yeah, it's not level by any means, but, well, it's level, just not exactly perfect on both sides. So we'll take a walk up here and I'll kind of show you how we get the sawmill in here. This is the road we come up, hook it up with the truck. When we have it hooked up to the truck, we come up the road out there. Come up here, we usually pull it up to the concrete up there by the driveway, unhook it up there. It's all nice and flat. Then we hook the tractor up to the sawmill. And then we back down the hill. And this is kind of a little makeshift road we have. We pull straight in there with the sawmill, back it straight in. It's a tight fit, but it works pretty good. As you can see, a lot of you guys have been commenting about the dust. yeah, it does shoot out straight into the wall, blows back in your face, especially when the wind's blowing. It's a pain in the butt. This is the dust mask I have that I wear. Well, I usually wear it every single time I'm cutting. But yeah, this is how the sawmill set up in here. Take a look around the back. Well, here's all of our cedar scraps we get from cutting cedar. We have quite a few right now, but it has been a lot worse than that before. If you guys have any ideas of what to do with cedar, I sell some to people make benches with it. Some people burn it. Some people use it for siding. They cut the straight edges on it. Just do a little everything with that cedar. And then that's a little pile of walnut that we cut off that were pretty thick, so we kept them. Some oak, junk logs people bring by that are rotten or hollow. We got a couple walnut crotch sections over here. Actually, that one's an older one, which has really cool grain. That's a crotch section right there, and then there's a little one right there. The rest is all pretty much oak. We got a couple of cherry pieces in here, and oh, there's a hackberry too. Oh, this is the back of the shed. I don't even know how tall it is up to the top. It's, I'd say probably 16 to 20 foot tall back here in the back. Yeah, we left that board hang out. No reason, just thought it kind of looked cool. And it was that long, so no reason to cut it off. This is the bottom side of the shed. Like I said, them boards, when we first built this shed, we built it for the Norwood. Never really taken into the consideration we would be buying a bigger sawmill. So all the dust shot out down this hill, which worked really good when we had the Norwood, but now with the wood miser everything's a little backwards, but it's okay. I'll take the wood miser any day. Some are red cedar scraps. These are all the hardwood scraps there. This hardwood scraps are usually about, well, not quite as much as cedar, but we got rid of all of it this past winter. Now we're just starting to get some back. Cut off ends. I got a couple little logs left in there. I got some cedar, little cedar. This is some sweet gum we cut up. One of my friends neighbors had a tree service come out and cut it down. It was about 38-inch diameter tree. These got, I think they're 9.5 foot long logs. We got that one. This littler one here left cut. So that's that. We got some, I call it hackberry. Some people call it beech, but I call it hackberry. If you guys have any ideas what to do with hackberry, let me know, because I got all this stuff. Not exactly sure what to cut it into. Kind of looking just to make it into boards, though. I don't know, 2-inch or 1-inch or whatever. I don't really know what people make with it. I know some people use it for making furniture, but I don't know. We got more cedar, little leftover logs that are kind of junky back there. This is pine. We got from my same friend that actually got that sweet gum from. They cut this down in their yard. That's a 2 up there. And then we got a couple small oaks in the front. As you can see, they just had this cut down, all the sap coming out of those. I never cut pine before, so that'll be kind of a good experience getting to cut that. I've always wanted to. This stuff is so straight and tall and big diameter, so it'll be easy cutting. We got some 8x8 beams here. We're gonna have to bring back in the shed. They're 8x8. They're about 17 foot long. We're gonna cut them down to 6x6 beams for our guy, and then he's taking the 2-inch boards that we cut off. He is using them for a deck rail. This is all gonna be a decking post, I guess you'd say. And then he's using the top part of the top handrail thing. So We had all these 8x8 beams cut for another guy. Ended up not coming and getting them, which was a pain in the butt. I think I cut 11 8x8s that were 17 foot long. And then I had some 10 footers, 12 footers, 14s, and 15s. I think we had 27 total. So, but yeah, cut them up 2 weeks. Had to have them done by 2 weeks. 3 months later, never came and got them. So now we're selling them off to other people. This is an order of cedar we got to cut. Well, they're all my logs now. I cut these all down a couple weeks ago. It's one of the things I do love, or do enjoy doing, is cutting the timber. It's like I said, all these logs from all this shed is I've cut down every single tree, milled it. These I've cut, every single one of my cut. Got them from a farm about 40 minutes away from here. Haul them back here and then cut them up for whoever wants them, so, or whoever puts in an order for them at least. And then we got a big, we'll walk up here. This is a big black walnut from a friend of mine I traded for, did some working on his farm, doing different things. So this is the biggest walnut I've ever seen. Well, not that I've ever seen, but the biggest one I've ever had here at least. It is about 14 foot long, has one of the big crotch sections in there. Well, it's actually gonna have two if I leave it this long. It is about 38 inches diameter down here, and then with the crotch, it's a little over 40 down here. Which my mill can handle it. It can pick it up and put it on there, and I can easily cut it, but I won't be able to leave the live edge on both sides, which is really what I'm wanting to do. So I know a couple people that have a bigger mills than I do. They have the Easy Boardwalk mill, if you ever heard of those. Them are actually made here in Missouri. They have one of those. I think it cuts 38 inches wide, somewhere around there, which would be really nice, because I can cut 26 is the absolute widest I can get for my sawmill between the two roller guides. So, but then once you square, if you put a square edge on the one side, I usually shoot for 23.5 is the widest I'll cut if I put a straight edge on it, because when it butts up against the log dogs or whatever you want to call them, it cuts off, I guess, about 2.5, 3 inches or so. But oh well, 23.5 is still pretty wide. In the future, getting a bigger, I'm sure I'll get a. That's the only regret I do have about buying the 35 is not getting a 40 with the wide head on it. I'd love to have that, having to be able to cut little, I guess about 8 inches or so wider than the 35 here. So that'd be a huge difference with the logs I'm cutting. A lot of people want live edge stuff, but I also do cut a lot of boards, which works. 35 works awesome for cutting boards and handling most regular size logs. It does very good, and I'm very impressed with it. I have no complaints whatsoever with it. Just wish I would have got the 40, but be in the future, something to look forward to in the future. So anyways, this is the workshop shed we built. This is the second shed we've built, so we knew a little bit more what we were doing with this shed. We use, again, this is all red cedar. I think I cut most of this wood for this. Well, I cut it all, but I didn't cut all the cut down all the logs for this shed. I had to buy some. I had a guy actually just lives a couple miles from my house. He sold them to me for a really good deal, so I bought those. I think there's about 50 logs in total, but not all of them are very big. So, but we used 6x6 posts for all these, for this whole shed. They're exactly 6x6s. Yeah, we used 4x4 beams for the trusses. We joined them together and everything, kind of leaving the exposed trusses like we did out here. Something we thought would look pretty neat. which I think turned out really good. Got this shed built for probably a little over a year or so, at least. We're starting to put siding on it. We made a huge mistake of cutting green oak. It's shrinking up really bad, as you can tell. But, oh well, we'll fix it. Any of you guys are familiar with chickens, this is going to be a chicken tractor we're building for here. Going to be putting 11 chickens in it. It's all red cedar also. We have a lot of red cedar around here, so that's just kind of what we use to build things. And it works really good, holding up to the weather, resistant. But yeah, this is a chicken coop. I'll show you inside. One of the chicken coops that we got. Yeah, this is the inside of it. Nest boxes are right there. We got the hatch on, or the thing on the outside, so we can open it up and not have to go inside. This is a little window. Anyways, yep, that's a chicken coop. All right. We don't have too many woodworking tools, but we got enough to kind of mess around, enough to be dangerous, I guess you'd say. Got a little DeWalt table saw, DeWalt 13-inch planer, chop saw. We got a bunch of little tools here and there, but I'd love to have a big belt sander, drum sander, I guess you'd say, be able to run the big slabs through. It's a workbench we built. We don't have too much wood in here right now. This is some walnut. They're 16 foot 5 inches long, I think, right around there. They're about 18 inches wide, 2.5 inches thick. And there's some leftover, well, not leftover, but walnut there. We got some miscellaneous wood just laying everywhere. Like it said, it's a mess in here. We got stuff laying everywhere from building a chicken coop. We've been working on that this past week, so. This is the back of the shed I'm going to show you here. We got a little lean-to off the back. Like, we use 6x6 beams for this also. But yeah. We're just starting to put the battens on the side of it now that the wood's starting to shrink up on the outside. Got some windowsills. Making two. We're just working on that this week too, so it'll get done eventually. This is some of the stuff we do. This is a little red cedar table with live edge legs on it. Make some rocking chairs, some regular old Adirondack chairs, swings. It's a dock we built. We used, take a look over here. We used cedar posts, actual cedar logs, for the posts out in the water. We had a backhoe here, and my dad was out there swimming, and we chained the log to the bucket of the backhoe part, and we pushed them in the ground, and then we just kind of hammered them in a little bit with the bucket. They went in about 6 or 7 foot, at least a lot farther than we thought they would go in. Anyways, that's the deck we built. Sorry guys, I know I said this would be a Sawmill video, but you guys are kind of getting a little walk around of everything we got going. Get the sun. But yeah, that is the back of the woodworking shed. We kind of sit around here in the summer, go fishing or whatever. So yeah, woodworking shed, sawmill shed. Like I said, if you guys know anything to do with the what you want to call it, the cedar offall from the mill, thing to do with that, you guys have ideas to do with all the hackberry or pine or thing to do with that, you guys know anything to, or whatever, you guys know something to do with it, let me know. I'll show you a couple more things. This is a pile of walnut scraps we were cutting. I tend to cut a lot of walnut in the fall, So we got some of the walnut off-fall left. I don't really necessarily want to give this stuff away for firewood because there's still a lot of good stuff in here. But, oh well. It'll get bought or used up or something eventually. Just don't want to see it all go to firewood. Oh, these are little walnut logs we have. We'll be cutting. Oh, that's a pecan log there, the one with the painted white in. And we got some painted in green or sealer on the ends of the logs on some of these in here. But yeah, we cut them into little, not all of them, but some of them into little, we call them cookies, but for wedding, or not wedding, they don't have to be wedding, but centerpieces for tables or whatever. Take a walk up here. This is some of the wood we have cut past couple. Well, we cut this stuff about past month or so. Some cedar on top, some pecan there. Sorry about the bike. Anyway, that's a ash little walnut. Like I said, this is all red cedar slabs. We got some 2-inch, mostly all 2-inch. We got some 1 1/4 and 1 1/2 on top. Got some stickers. We just cut those a little while ago. Be stacking up that sweet gum. There's a couple pieces of it laying here. This is some white oak cut. That stuff's actually been drying for about a 1.5 years or so. Cut some of that on the Norwood and we still had it. The top is all quarter sawn, but the rest is all just regular sawn. That is the oak. I think I did a video on that one. That was the crazy oak on the wood miser, I think. That was that log. Anyway. This is the spalted oak on the wood miser there. I think that's what it was. That bottom log. Then we got some cedar on top that are just leftover pieces. This is all the oak. This is the one we did with the 18 wood with the wood miser. There, that's that stuff stacked up, stickered. So yeah, it's kind of a little walk around of everything. Show you, we got more wood too, but this video is going to get pretty long here. So show you one last thing. This is the chicken coop we got. I know this is a sawmill video, but we do chickens also. So, anyways, the sawmill part is we cut all this cedar for the fence. Little pen for the chickens. We got the netting on top so hawks and whatever don't get in. Well, try not to get in at least. Remember some of the chickens. We got all kinds of chickens. Just try to do a little bit of everything to keep me occupied. So yeah, that's that. Them are some more of them 8x8 beams down here. We got, these are gonna be going, most of them are gonna be going this weekend. We have about 6 of them or so left over. These aren't, they kind of been picked through a little bit, so kind of the ones that have bark on them left. Some people think the bark is really cool and they all want the bark. Other people think it's absolutely worst thing in the world having bark. Which I kind of think it looks cool having a little character. Yep, so that's Sawmill Shed. Hope you guys liked the video. Sorry it's getting a little long here. I didn't intend for it to be this long, but you guys made it all the way through this one. I hope you liked it. Please leave comments and subscribes and comments and likes, and appreciate all the subscribers. Hopefully we'll keep this channel going little by little. We're pretty busy right now and this is just something I do as a hobby, so we'll keep you updated and hopefully be making some more videos here or so on. If you guys have any suggestions as to what I should do better. If you guys want to see something cut up, just let me know. If you want me to go into more detail in the sawmill shed, let me know about that. We can do that. Oh, and this is a tractor. Sorry, one more thing. This is a tractor we use, little Kubota 2710, B2710. It does pretty much everything. If it didn't have it, no way of getting the logs into the sawmill shed besides can hooks or rolling them. But anyways, picking them up, moving around. It does very, very, very well. It's not a very big tractor at all, but it gets the job done. We'll be getting hopefully, we'll see, but we'll be getting a skid steer here in a year or so. That will be a big help. Alright guys, so I'm going to get off here. Have a good day and hope you like the video. Thank you.